Let's see what's going around the world.
האינטרסים שלנו בסוריה הם ידועים, מצומצמים וברורים. קודם כל, לשמור על סטטוס קוו באזור של דרום סוריה, שהוא סמוך לגבולנו גם, ולמנוע התפתחות של איומים כלפי ישראל במרחב הזה. הדבר השני, למנוע פגיעה בעדה הדרוזית שיש לנו איתה, עם האזרחים הדרוזים כאן בישראל, קשר אמיץ וחזק.
Yeah, oh, here's the attack.
Powerful airstrikes rocked Damascus on Wednesday, targeting the defense ministry and hitting next to the presidential palace in the Syrian capital. Israel has vowed to destroy Syrian government forces, attacking Druze communities in southern Syria
right
they
after.
withdraw.
They went straight for
Before the
fucking
blasts,
military
Israel's
and
defense
government
minister had
infrastructure.
said painful blows will come. Scores of people have been killed this week in violence around the southern city of Suwaida, fighting between the Druze minority, government
take out
security
political leaders,
forces,
man.
and members of Bedouin tribes,
Again.
has prompted Israel to strike repeatedly with the declared aim of protecting the Druze. Druze are followers of an offshoot religion of Islam and are spread between Syria, Lebanon and Israel. Druze in Israel have been calling on the Israeli military to protect Druze in Syria.
Oh look, it looks like a bunch of
Israeli
white people.
Druze broke through an Israel-Syria
What a
border fence in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asked Druze citizens in Israel not to cross the border into Syria, saying the situation was very grave and they could be kidnapped or killed. The Israeli military said it continued to strike Syrian regime targets in southern Syria, including tanks and pickup trucks mounted with machine guns heading
fucking
towards
AC-130.
Suwaida.
Boom.
The violence
Boom.
has underlined big challenges facing interim President Ahmed al-Sharaa, despite warming ties with the United States. He seeks to stitch Syria back together in the face of deep misgivings from groups that reject Islamist rule.
Syria's government leaders and the Druze religious minority announced a ceasefire this morning after a day of Syria exchanging strikes with Israel. It comes after a rare airstrike by Israel on the Syrian capital of Damascus. Israel said the strike was intended to defend the Druze minority and push away Islamic militants in the area. Israeli strikes continued after the announcement.
Yeah, but fucking striking people. Oh, here's another. Syria ain't news anchor.
إن الجيش سيواصل مهاجمة قوات
Hit the deck.
إن الجيش سيواصل مهاجمة قوات
Boom.
إن الجيش سيواصل مهاجمة قوات إن الجيش سيواصل مهاجمة قوات
Now that's the meaning of live TV. Traffic keeps moving. Happens so quick.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this
Who we got here? Kind of just going all. Leslie Bell defends left-leaning news outlets PBS and NPR against criticism of their bias.
The administration didn't try to cut PBS and NPR because of the budget. They went after them because public media doesn't play along with the never-ending lies. PBS and NPR tell the truth, and for some people, that's threatening.
Oh, really?
A free press
Tell the
isn't
truth?
supposed to flatter those in charge.
I thought all
Trust me,
news
I
media
know.
outlets lie
It's
a little
supposed to
bit,
challenge them.
especially
That's
for
what-
their
that's what makes
specific
democracy
agenda.
possible. PBS and NPR tell the truth.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus. Okay.
Russia thumbs its nose at Donald Trump's ultimatum, launching new strikes on Ukraine. Is the war escalating or just entering a new phase? Plus, the pressure is mounting from inside Trump's own party, why even some of his allies want the Epstein files out in the open. And you get 6 hours, then you're out. The Trump administration's new plan to deport migrants with little warning. The stories that matter, clear and credible, from across the country to around the world. These are your unbiased updates from Straight Arrow News. Good morning, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Overnight retaliation. Russia is firing back literally after President Trump threatened full sanctions if Moscow does not reach a ceasefire deal with Ukraine in 50 days. The Kremlin calling the ultimatum unacceptable and launching one of the deadliest assaults in Ukrainian cities, including Kryvyi and Vinnytsia, bombarded with missiles and drones overnight. Local officials say it was one of the most intense attacks since the war began, leaving at least 15 people hurt, including a child. President Zelensky said in a post on X that nearly 200 drones were intercepted and more than 140 others missed their targets. Civilian infrastructure in Kharkiv and Sumy also got hit. The violence comes just days after Donald Trump announced a new NATO deal to ramp up American weapons supply to Ukraine as his envoy, Keith Kellogg, arrives in Kyiv for high-stakes talks. Some of President Trump's most loyal supporters on Capitol Hill are breaking ranks over the Epstein files. After the administration declined to release more documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, a growing number of MAGA-aligned Republicans say that's not good enough. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who usually walks lockstep with Donald Trump, is now publicly calling for transparency, even suggesting Congress might launch its own probe. In a podcast interview with a conservative commentator, Johnson said this.
It's a very delicate subject, but
that's the
put everything out there, let
Louisiana
people
guy
decide.
that
I mean,
had
the White House and the White House team
Biden
are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there.
That's the guy I was talking about
Others
yesterday.
on the right have pushed for subpoenas. Some are demanding a special counsel. The blowback comes after Attorney General Pam Bondi, under fire for comments she made earlier this year about the FBI reviewing tens of thousands of videos and there being files on her desk, said the DOJ's memo speaks for itself. Interacting with reporters yesterday, Trump said Bondi should release whatever is credible. Listen.
We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well. And it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release, yeah.
Also in Washington, Republicans in the Senate have taken the first step towards slashing billions in federal spending, including foreign aid and public broadcasting. The $9 billion package advanced Tuesday night by a single vote, with Vice President J.D. Vance breaking the tie after 3 Republicans broke ranks. The White House agreed to drop cuts to a popular HIV/AIDS program in order to secure the votes. But funding for PBS and NPR is still on the chopping block, something even some Republicans say
when you
goes
start
too far,
having news
especially in
media
rural
outlets
areas.
start telling
If the
you
final bill
that
passes
there's
by
certain
Friday,
stuff
it would
in the
mark a
bill
major
that's
win
not
for the
actually in
president
the
and a
bill,
preview
and
of
you
even
check
deeper
the
cuts
bill,
to
it's
come.
like, dude,
But with
why
some
do
GOP
people
lawmakers
still
still
lie
divided,
about
it's not a
bills?
done deal just yet. A new memo from the
Then
Trump
why do you guys
administration
try to
lays out a plan to
shoehorn
deport suspected illegal immigrants
things
to
in the
third
bill that
countries
shouldn't
on
be
just
in
6
there?
hours' notice without guarantees they won't be persecuted or tortured. In a July 9th directive, acting ICE Chief Todd Lyons says a recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling gives immigration officials the green light
why do you need
to
a
immediately begin
bill
sending
to
people
release
to
certain
alternative countries,
information
even those with no diplomatic assurances of
specifically?
safety. The memo says migrants
What?
could be informed
Just
24
release
hours
the
ahead of
fucking
time, but in, quote,
information. Shut the
exigent
fuck up and
circumstances,
release
in
it.
other words, urgent or pressing circumstances, they may only get 6 hours' notice. If they're being sent to countries that have promised some level of protection, there might be no advance warning at all. The memo does require ICE to give those facing rapid removal a chance to speak to an attorney. Immigrant rights advocates call the plan dangerous and say it removes due process. Weeks after President Trump deployed thousands of National Guard troops and U.S. Marines to crack down on violent protests in Los Angeles, some are finally
weren't they
heading
trying
home,
to, like...
but the political battle over their presence is
didn't
far
they,
from
like,
over.
call
2,000
off,
Guard members are now
yeah.
demobilizing, leaving L.A. after the Pentagon declared the lawlessness is subsiding. But California Governor Gavin
Yeah,
Newsom
I don't know
is
about that.
criticizing
They
the
keep
partial
going to
removal,
the
calling it
government
theater,
building and
accusing the
fucking
White House
protesting.
of leaving
So it's
remaining
like,
troops,
they've
quote,
been doing
without a
this
mission,
for like
without
over a
direction,
month
and without
now.
hope. Newsom sued the Trump administration after it ordered 4,000 National Guard troops and 700
Oh,
Marines
well, I
into
guess
the
because
city
they
in June
keep going
to
in
protect
and
federal
out of
property.
California
A federal appeals
doing,
court sided with Trump, allowing the deployment to continue
right,
until
ice
now.
raids
Finally,
every-
this morning, history
right,
was made at the 2025
certain days.
Major League Baseball All-Star Game as a home run derby decided the winner for the first time. Tied at 6 after 9 innings, fans were treated to a swing-off. 3 hitters from each side, 3 swings apiece. The American League, by the way, had stormed back from a 6-0 deficit in the 7th inning to force extra innings, but came up short in the Derby. American League sluggers scored a combined 3 home runs, but the National League,
I don't
led by
care about
Kyle Schwarber,
baseball
crushed
'cause
4,
it's like-
clinching the win. Schwarber was named the MVP after delivering the game-winning homer. It was great for the fans, so that's pretty neat. Now let's get back to baseball.
there's-
Less than 70 games left.
it's
By the way,
underrated.
the
I
Red
mean,
Sox have won
I
10 in a
mean-
row. They are hot. And yes, the Cubs
yeah, it's
are in
underrated,
first
but
place
there's
in the
no-
NL
there's not
Central.
a lot of
Should be
hype
interesting down the
to
stretch.
it.
Before we head out, here's what we're tracking today. At 10 o'clock this morning,
At least
the
I don't
largest piece
feel
of
any
Mars
hype.
on Earth will be auctioned off by Sotheby's, alongside a Ceratosaurus dinosaur and other natural history items. Then at 11, President Trump welcomes the Crown Prince of
don't vibe,
Bahrain
is
for a
basically
working meeting
what
at the
I'm
White
trying to
House.
say.
At 3 p.m., a Tennessee judge will hear arguments for
I
why
vibe more
Kilmar
with,
Abrego Garcia
like,
should remain in jail ahead of a trial on human smuggling charges.
basketball,
And at 7 tonight, the president
UFC,
participates in a dinner
right,
with the Prime Minister
hockey.
of Qatar. If you want more unbiased updates,
All the-
sign up for
all
our
the more
newsletter. It's
physical
delivered right to your
ones.
inbox every morning. Go to san.com/newsletters. Those are your unbiased updates for this Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.
The more physical ones where you have to put more of your life on the line.
Job cuts are now official at the Department of Health and Human Services. After months of legal back and forth, HHS sent an email on Monday telling employees they were out, a week after the Supreme Court cleared the way for layoffs. The notice obtained by CNN read, quote, "You are hereby notified that you are officially separated from HHS at the close of business on July 14th, 2025. This all started back in March when HHS announced a reorganization plan under President Trump's executive order to shrink the federal workforce. The plan is meant to save nearly $2 billion a year by cutting about 10,000 jobs. When you include early retirements and voluntary exits, HHS is shrinking from 82,000 employees down to 62,000. On April 1st, about 10,000 employees got termination notices scheduled to leave by June 2nd. Another 10,000 took incentive packages to leave voluntarily. But in May, a federal judge temporarily blocked the cuts until the Supreme Court overturned that decision earlier this month, allowing the layoffs to move forward. Although one legal battle ended, more are still on the docket. Another injunction issued on July 1st temporarily protects some employees at HHS agencies, including the FDA and CDC. Plus, a class action lawsuit claims HHS used inaccurate data to decide who got laid off. By law, federal workers can sue if agencies base personnel actions on bad information. That's part of the Privacy Act of 1974, which gives employees the right to see and correct their records. Read the full story right now on the Straight Arrow News mobile app or online at san.com. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey.
I'll watch that one later.
Epstein client list. Republicans, Democrats, even the Speaker of the House are all calling for transparency. Despite that, the files about one of the most notorious sex traffickers of all time remain private, and the White House wants everyone to move on. We spent the day speaking with members of Congress about the Epstein case, and it's clear they're not going to drop this.
Democrats, Republicans, Independents think
for
that
whatever
the
reason
not
they're
being
afraid to
transparent.
release
and so
the
that
names.
makes you want to pull the string
It's like
more.
if they release the names, it's like the reputation
Democratic
of these people
Congressman Ro Khanna tried to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files, but it was blocked by Republicans. Democrats are now criticizing their GOP colleagues who, for months, said the files should be made public.
And all of a sudden, it's like, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There is no files. There was no Jeffrey Epstein. There was no list. In fact, Pam Bondi doesn't even have a desk.
Moskowitz is referring to Attorney General Pam Bondi's now infamous answer
I mean,
to a
he's
very
just
simple
making
question.
fun of what
The
they
DOJ may
said.
be releasing
I mean, she's the
list
one
of
who
Jeffrey
literally, yeah,
Epstein's
right here.
clients.
She literally
really
said
happen?
that it's on her
sitting on my
desk.
desk right now to review. That's been a directive.
Hello,
by
she
President
says
Trump.
it.
Republicans on Capitol Hill are not
It's
happy
like, I
she's
mean, when you
reneging.
say that
The Attorney
shit,
General
it's
said she
like,
had a list
yo,
on her
what the
desk,
fuck?
and then she did.
Why did you
I
lie
just-
to us?
I think she's way out of her league, and I think
Why
when she
the
released
fuck
that,
you
she gave all
lying?
the
fuck you lying?
binders,
Yeah?
and it was stuff that you could just got on the internet. And I
Do
just
you
thought
want
that
me to
was-
fucking play that song?
I just don't think.
Can.
I don't think she was ready for prime time at that point.
Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, that were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody.
According to a report in the Daily Mail, Epstein's accomplice and facilitator, Ghislaine Maxwell, is willing to speak to Congress about everything she knows. Senator Josh Hawley says she should testify under oath.
This is one of the worst human trafficking rings in American history, run by this scumbag. And
Why the fuck you
the more we know about it, the more we get out.
Other lawmakers say they don't trust her and that she's likely doing this in an attempt to get leniency.
But what would be her angle? Is she trying to get a better plea deal or something? That's the question I think needs to be answered and all that. What does she want from that?
My question for that is, why is she not just talking to the press? She can say everything she needs to say to the press at any time.
Yeah, she could just release the information. You don't even need to do this fucking weird political PR bullshit. Right?
Maxwell is serving a 20-year prison sentence
Just
for
release
sex
it on the
trafficking
fucking
minors.
White House
She's
document,
asking
right?
the Supreme Court to toss out her
release the
conviction,
information.
arguing she
That's all
should
you
be
have to
shielded
do.
by a
Just do
2007
it.
non-prosecution agreement between
You
Epstein
released the
and federal
video, did you
prosecutors
not?
in Florida.
Why
As for
don't
the
you
Epstein
release that,
case, earlier this
right?
month,
Why
the
don't you
Department of
release
Justice
more
released a memo
information
that
you said you
there
had?
was no client list and that there isn't going to be any more prosecutions. So it's going to be up to Congress to bring any new information to light. I'm Ray Bogan for Straight Arrow
they don't
News.
want
For
to
more
prosecute
reporting straight
people.
from our
They're
nation's
afraid to
capital,
put these people
download
in jail
the SAN app.
for some reason. It's like, I guess these people that they don't want to put in jail have like a lot of money. So that is like, once they put in jail, it's like, oh well, there goes our money well. What do we got here?
Good. You have this bill that you about
don't get hurt, guys.
To reverse these cuts on Medicaid.
Yeah.
Why introduce this bill when you just voted to enact these cuts?
Oh, well, I said I would. I mean, I said that I would support the bill because it enacts work requirements, which I supported and still do support, that it prevents illegals from getting Medicaid, which I think is the right thing. It expands health care coverage. We're talking about now the big, beautiful bill. It expands health care coverage in my state and other states for hundreds of thousands of people under the RICA program, which is my bill. So I liked all of that, but there are aspects of it I didn't like, and I think these future cuts to hospitals with Medicaid is a mistake. So I said when I voted for it, I said I'm going to try to reverse these. That's exactly what I'm doing.
But couldn't you have done that while the bill was being negotiated rather than after the fact?
No, manifestly not. I mean, it's sadly mono, I mean, with legislation, sometimes you can get some things and not other things, so we were able to accomplish a lot. There's a
Well,
lot
I
of things
mean,
on
it
both
sounded
sides.
like they were
The
trying to
tax
do
cuts
some
in the bill, I think,
bipartisan
good for workers,
bullshit,
the
right?
blue-collar tax cuts. But I didn't like the hospital cuts. We were able to delay them and able to get more funding for hospitals in the short term, but I want to fund hospitals permanently, and I don't want any of those cuts to go into effect.
And if your bill goes into law, what's the impact going to be on your state?
If my bill...
No. Sorry. If the cuts go into law and your new bill does not go into law to push back on these cuts, what is the impact going to be?
Yeah, the good news is because of what we were able to negotiate, to your point, or in the big, beautiful bill, Missouri's actually getting $1 billion more in hospital funding over the next 4 years. So what my new bill would do is double that. It would continue the increase in funding, and it would prevent any future changes. Now, you're asking what would happen for my states in 2030. The answer is I don't know, because Missouri may well have to change its funding formula. So I don't know the answer to that. But my view is I don't want to take any chances. I don't want rural hospitals in particular adversely affected at all. And I said that I do everything I can to support them. That's what I'm doing.
Does this bill have momentum or support from your colleagues?
I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, listen, this is my consistent position on this, which is that I don't think we should reduce funding for rural hospitals. I voted for the big, beautiful bill in part because it includes an increase for rural hospital funding over the next 4 and 5 years. Let's make that permanent and let's extend it.
What do you think of the polls that show that this bill is deeply unpopular?
Well, I just had what I think so far is the only rally sort of for the bill, Mono, you can correct me on this, maybe I'm wrong with this. I think I'm the only senator who has done a big event on the bill because the nuclear radiation compensation program that is in this bill is hugely popular in the state of Missouri. So we just had a huge rally, bipartisan,
Yeah, as you can see, the
Democrat
big
friends were
beautiful
there,
bill has
celebrating this.
Medicaid, health
listen,
care
I think that
stuff,
there's a lot in this bill to like. And, the things that we need
taxes,
to fix, we'll
nuclear
fix.
program stuff.
Yes.
I think it also has
know
AI
yesterday,
stuff.
and even majority
Right, it
leader
literally
expressed
has
some
everything.
frustration with OMB that they haven't given specific things that these cuts are going to claw back on. Do you share any of those concerns? Do you think OMB should be more specific about what the money they're going to pull back is going to be taken from?
Well, I'm sure they're trying to be as specific as they can. I will say some of my colleagues have the advantage here. A number of them were here for earlier rescissions packages. So I've heard a lot from my colleagues about how this rescission package differs from earlier ones. I just, to be honest with you, I just don't have that context. So that may be true, and I can understand the frustration. I think at the end of the day, I support the rescissions package. In fact, I'd like to make it bigger. I'd like to cut $9 billion, that's a B, billion dollars out of Green New Deal funding that's going to a private corporation in my state that's taking farmers' land. So if you gave, unfortunately the rules don't allow me to do it, but if you gave me my druthers, I'd try to add some stuff to this bill, so I'm going to vote for it.
So do you think that the Judiciary Committee should probe this Epstein matter? And what do you think about the way the administration has handled it?
Well, listen, I thought what the president said yesterday, I think it was yesterday, was right. I think he said the Attorney General ought to release whatever she thinks is credible and appropriate to release. That is exactly the right answer, I think. I mean, I think she should do that. I think, and my view is...
She has not released enough, in your opinion.
Well, I think it's... Here's what I think is maybe a little difficult to believe. The idea that DOJ and the FBI, who prosecuted cases relating to this, don't have any idea who Epstein's clients were and that he had no record of it, of the clients. I don't know. I find that kind of hard to believe. I mean, my view is
damn! Even Senator Howley's like, dude, that's bullshit.
Yesterday. I think that would be. They want my advice, and they don't. But if DOJ were asking for my advice,
yeah, dude, they definitely have.
Make it all
they
public.
definitely have some information. There's no fucking way.
I understand, like these agencies.
They have. They certainly have certain people.
Please don't make this public. Please don't make this
There's
public.
no fucking two
I
ways
just think
around.
whenever you can, so long as it doesn't interfere with prosecution, I think you ought to make it public. And in this case, I just say let's make it all public and get it out there. And
Should the Judiciary Committee investigate this?
I saw that. I never know how to pronounce her name, but his associate, Epstein's associate, Maxwell. Help me out. What's her name?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, okay.
Ghislaine.
I think she said that she would be willing to testify.
Yeah,
I mean,
she
why
was
not? Why
no.
not put-
So what happened with Ghislaine Maxwell is she never testified. She never went on trial and testified to like who was in that whole situation, right? She didn't talk about the clients that were coming to the island. She was only there to like bring the girls, I guess. Right? I think. But she never talked about who these girls were like meeting up with at the island, literally, like, even though that I'm pretty sure saw, like come on, it's like you had to have seen them. You were literally super close to fucking Epstein, so there's no way she didn't see who was around him. Right, not just the fucking girls, but the dudes around Epstein, right? Whatever parties he was throwing on that fucking island, whatever events or whatever he was helping with clients with, right?
Put her under oath. No, I wouldn't.
That motherfucker had a business going on that island.
Committee could put her under oath and testify.
Oh, fuck, it was a human trafficker.
She apparently, she's being prosecuted. I think she has an appeal pending. So, I think that could be a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet, guys. Yeah, good to see you.
There you have it. Hallie talking about certain people. For what it's worth, Hallie does get some stuff right. I mean, he does fuck up a little bit when he starts doing that weird shit with the, right, he did that weird shit with the TikTok. With the Singaporean dude. Showing a little racism there for the government. China. It happens from time to time. Get a little heated. Oh, what's this? Teen takeover gets caught on camera. Uh-oh. In Glen Ellen, Illinois? A teen takeover. Oh, at a, like a water park?
That we have a police presence for rule enforcement because they're not listening to the lifeguards. So you guys, no smoking.
Oh, there's smoke here around them.
Cannot smoke.
So there's a bunch of people in the full areas.
Is that non-alcoholic? No, it do got alcohol. Is it alcohol? Yeah. So it can't be in this
Yeah,
facility.
you can't have it in here.
Cool. Okay. So that's gotta leave right now. Actually, you can leave it here. We'll take it. Thank you.
Oh, basically drinking open containers of alcohol too. This is basically supposed to be a public.
Right here. One second, relax.
It's supposed to be a public
Okay, cool. Right now. We got
pool
plenty
area.
of people drinking alcohol, which somebody already was. Alcohol cannot be here. People smoking.
So basically doing rat shit behavior.
No smoking, no alcohol. No smoking any kind.
I'm gonna tell everybody.
Hey, no smoking.
100 people waiting. I know. They're all coming in. I see them all coming in right now. So are you guys just hosting an event or something? Yeah, what are you guys doing? Yeah, we're just having a pool party. Okay, pool party.
Are you hosting an event or something? Yeah, because there's literally so many people like going in there and smoking and drinking and shit.
So no more.
And now all these employees are having issues because they can't get a handle on all these people
Yes. So
acting all
I'm done. And now
unruly.
50 of them just walked right by.
You're probably close to capacity anyway.
I am at capacity.
Okay.
So we are on a one in, one out basis.
Okay.
That's where we're at. One in, one out. Pass holders go first.
Who invited everybody? Like, how did y'all all get together and was like,
I mean,
you know what I'm
why are
saying?
you smiling like that?
Whose birthday is it? Like, what's going
There's
on?
no birthday. I mean, we just wanted to come out and have a good time.
That's
it.
fine. I'm just. Everybody hear this from TikTok, Facebook, TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah, see.
Well, not trended it, but it was
Yeah,
somewhere else.
people do it. Yeah, people posting
was-
basically, oh, we're having some kind of party, some kind of public. Uh-oh. What the fuck? There's so many fucking people here.
He's being on the phone. But they're not listening. This is the kid. No, we This one right here is not listening.
So now they're trying to now they might be trying to attack the woman. So they just pushed her in and shit. And yeah, now they're with everyone being unruly and literally causing issues.
It's closed. All right, go home. Property is closed. Okay. Go home. Property is closed.
People blew up a car.
Fireworks out here. Go home now! Everybody out or you're going to jail. Everybody out or you're going to jail. Hugo 31, can you send me 5 more cars, please? I need 5 more cars to Sunset Pool. Everybody out or you're going to jail. Everybody out or you're going to jail. Get to your cars. Go home.
Let's go.
Stop touching me, boy. Step to the side.
Let's go.
Why is he trying to touch
Which
me?
way?
Why is he touching me? I'm trying to run to my vehicle. Why
Go.
you in your vehicle now? Okay, don't fucking touch me then. Go
Let's
to your
go.
vehicle. All right, what's touching me?
You guys, out of the road. Out of the road.
Watch out, sir. Watch out.
People shooting like fireworks and shit. Where was this? Yeah, they were doing like some rat shit behavior. Black fatigue. Look, I didn't want to say it, but look. Hey, that's what happens when you do rat shit behavior, right? Oh god, it's Illinois, no wonder. Illinois. The great state of Illinois. Yeah. One of the most crime-riddled states there is.
President Trump said his administration would release the Epstein files, but now he says those files are a hoax. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. Trump continuing to blame Democrats, claiming without providing evidence the party created these files to undermine him and that Republicans who believe it are getting duped. The president writing on social media today, their new scam is what we'll forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into the BS, hook, line, and...
Wait, so if he's saying this, that means like someone in his right cabinet has been feeding him wrong information or told him that there was supposed to be some information that could be released, but there's not that information or something, right? So it seems like there's a weird disconnect. Or Trump is trying to fucking sweep it under the rug or some shit.
and sinker.
Something
Trump added,
happened.
Let these weaklings continue forward and do the
Right.
Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Speaking of our Washington, D.C. Bureau Managing Editor Catherine
to me, it
Falters
just has
for more.
something to
So
do with,
releasing the
right,
Epstein
certain
files
people's
was a
names.
major part of Trump's campaign
Certain
last year. We talked a lot
politicians
about
and
it. Now he says it's a hoax. Doesn't make sense.
Or not even politicians, just high-ranking officials in certain
president,
countries
whether it's
too,
his
right?
supporters, whether it's reporters
Because
in the
Epstein
Oval
was
Office
doing,
with
I
him. What
guess,
does he
some
mean by
kind
that?
of
What is a hoax? Who's told him that? Has the
information
Attorney General Pam
intelligence
Bondi relayed that
handling
information? Now, Trump was
service
asked that
of some
by ABC's
sort.
Mary Bruce today, to which he essentially
Human
said, no,
trafficking
he's the
service
one
of
that
some
thinks
sort.
it's a hoax. He knows it's a hoax. That's obviously a baseless claim without any evidence, and obviously begs the question why he's bringing this up now. It has outraged many of his most vocal MAGA supporters. So the big question is, where does this end? I'm not quite
I mean,
sure.
he's still
Of course,
president.
there's calls on
Sure, I
Congress for
hate what the
testimony.
fuck he's doing
We'll see what
sometimes,
happens
but
with
it's
that,
like,
whether
he's still
there's
president.
investigations launched. But right now, it doesn't seem like any more files will be released. Trump is putting the ball in Attorney General Pam Bondi's court. He wants her to release the
He
credible
promised
evidence.
us
Begs the question,
certain
what is the
information,
quote-unquote
and we're not
credible
getting
evidence
it.
that Trump is
That's
talking
what
about.
I'm upset
But the
about.
reality is, Kira, this is not
That's
a
all.
story that's going away anytime soon.
Right. We know he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. We've seen
He
the
said he
videos,
was
we've
going
seen the
to do
pictures, we've seen the
certain
pictures
things,
of
and he
the
did
First
not do
Lady
those
and the
things.
President
That's
and
all.
Jeffrey Epstein. And you got a great question to the
Until he
President
does
on
those
departure
things,
yesterday,
I
asking,
will,
about Pam Bondi.
I
And,
will
and did
forever
she
talk about them,
tell
yes.
the President he was in those files? And he didn't really
That's how it
answer
is.
the question.
Wasn't
he
it the
brushed
same
it
way
off.
with
He said,
Biden when
no,
Biden
there
didn't
was
do
a
shit
short
for like 4
briefing
years
that
straight?
He was given by the Attorney
I was
General,
talking
and then he went
shit all
into
day.
the fact
I
that
was
he believed that this
calling
was
him out.
made up
I was
and a
even
hoax. So
talking
what
shit
we've
about every
learned, of course, is that the
politician,
Attorney
too.
General briefed him.
Just letting it
It appears
happen.
on the contents of what was in those files after
Even
that
talking
months-long
about
review
how
by the
some
DOJ
people
and the
voted
FBI,
for
but he didn't answer the
voted,
question
voted
about
for their
whether or
downfall.
not his name is in the
with
files. Of
voting
course, we know
Biden
that
in.
is a theory that's been floated, for example, by Elon Musk, that there is speculation about.
There's
Trump
all
hasn't answered
sorts
that
of
question
shit.
directly. So we'll see where this goes. But again, right now, he's eager to move past this,
YouTube
but
even
his
tried to
supporters
take
really
down,
aren't.
or YouTube took down
some
even one of my
Republicans are
videos
even
because I was
calling
like,
for Epstein's
I was talking
convicted,
shit about the 2020
co-conspirator,
election shit.
Ghislaine Maxwell, to testify before Congress. Do you think we could see that happen?
Look, never say never in Congress. I know our Jay O'Brien has been running around chasing lawmakers on this question. We know that some of Trump's top allies in the Senate have been calling for testimony, for public testimony in congressional hearings. There haven't been, for example, any letters to our knowledge sent requesting her testimony. Nothing's been scheduled. But the point is, on the congressional side of this, Trump's allies in Congress, at least some of them, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, who wants Pam Bondi to clear up some of her answers on this, the reality is they're not letting this go away either. They want to get to the bottom of this. And frankly, essentially, the different answers that Pam Bondi has been given. What's real here? What's the truth? Let's bring them up here to testify, whether it's Ghislaine Maxwell, whether it's getting additional answers from Pam Bondi. So there will be, it appears, a lot of congressional action on this to come.
Story's not going away, that's for sure. Catherine, thank you.
Yeah.
5:04 this morning. Later today, President Trump is expected to meet with the leader of Qatar as he continues his push for an Israel-Gaza ceasefire, as well as a nuclear deal with Iran. Meanwhile, Russia has shot down his latest demand for a peace deal with Ukraine. Jared Hill reports.
Russia is rejecting President Donald Trump's ultimatum for a ceasefire with Ukraine. The president threatened new sanctions if no deals reached in 50 days. Authorities in Moscow call the demands unacceptable.
He says he wants peace. He does. So far,
He
it's all
says
talk
he
and no
wants
action.
peace
The
as
president
you
says he
arm,
hasn't spoken to Russian leader
as
Vladimir
you try to
Putin
arm
since
Ukraine
announcing the
with more
proposal
fucking
and laying out a plan
armaments.
to sell weapons to NATO for Ukraine
Armaments,
on
yes.
Monday.
NATO is going to pay us back for everything.
Crypto Week got off to a rocky start.
The resolution is not adopted.
A procedural vote failed, stopping the House from advancing the Senate's Genius Act, a bill to regulate the cryptocurrency stablecoin.
Oh,
gaining
yeah, I
interest
saw
with
that,
Big
yeah.
business and big banks. But today, an about-face is expected.
Basically,
Last night, the president announced
he
that
got
11
upset
GOP
at Powell
hardliners will
and
now vote yes
the
after
Democrats.
meeting with him at the White House.
They wanted to be stronger for people with Bitcoin or crypto.
Meanwhile, a nail-biter in the Senate Tuesday night.
The vice president votes in the affirmative.
Vice President J.D. Vance cast a tie-breaking vote advancing President Trump's plan to claw back over $9 billion in federal funding for foreign
Oh
aid,
yeah, I saw they were
NPR,
voting
and
on that
PBS.
like all day
Three
yesterday or
Republicans,
today
Susan
or some
Collins,
shit like
Mitch
that.
McConnell, and Lisa Murkowski voted no, along with Democrats. The bill needs to pass by Friday, or the funding continues as planned.
Some lawmakers also took issue with a provision that would have made cuts to well-regarded HIV and AIDS prevention programs. President Trump is planning to sign an executive order to establish national standards for the NCAA's name, image, and likeness program soon.
Rapid fire. Ooh. What is this?
Chairman Guest, members of
We'll watch that later. We'll watch that.
I have hair.
Oh, okay.
This is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Speaker Mike Johnson has just lowered the boom on the Epstein files in a massive way. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Today, President Donald Trump reaffirmed that he wants us all to move on from the Jeffrey Epstein files. And he said that the people who still want to see the files are his former
Ain't
supporters
nothing to
and
see here,
weaklings.
boy. Move
I disagree.
along.
I still consider myself a supporter of President
Move along,
Donald Trump.
boy.
I don't consider myself a weakling. And I do want to see what's in those Jeffrey Epstein files. At least the parts you can show us. And I damn sure believe you can
Yeah,
show us something.
it's like they were. Yeah, for
The
whatever
world's
reason, Pam Bondi was like, "Oh, sorry, we can't show you all this, all these things that deal with the victims because, well, certain victims were underage and blah blah blah." It's like, obviously, we don't want to see that shit. Look, we just want you to show us the fucking sanitized shit that show us the goddamn fucking names, right? Just show us the names. Show us the names who caused this bullshit. Who was causing human
He said in an interview
trafficking.
with Benny Johnson that he
Right, who
wants
was
those files
facilitating
released. He
illegal
wants to see
activity.
them.
Just
at least again the
give
parts
us
that
the
we're allowed to
fucking
see.
name.
I understand there
Oh.
could be national
all
security
it
concerns
is.
here, which is in and of
It's the
itself
same with
terrifying.
some of these companies that try to
wants them to be seen, and he said, "Look, it's just
obfuscate
fall where
like
they
some
may.
of the
I couldn't
criminal
agree
activity,
more."
some of their fucking employees
committed
do.
against children.
Like, yeah,
Crimes
oh yeah,
committed against women.
we don't want
These are people,
liability, so that's why
as
we
men,
say these certain things
that
we
we
do.
have to protect.
Yeah, go fuck
It's the
yourself. I'm
very
gonna shove my
opposite
foot up your
of
ass.
being a weakling.
Fucking bitches.
I think we absolutely
My
have to see
fucking
these files.
faces. You
And I think
deserve to
Mike Johnson
fucking
is
get your
correct.
company burned
And I
down.
think the sooner the better. Let the chips
Fucking
fall where they
black
may.
ass
Whoever's on
company
those files.
doing illegal shit.
I don't care. Whoever did anything inappropriate with children deserves to be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
Oh yeah, these people
Quote me
deserve
on
to be
that, keep me on
fucking
record on
hung.
that. I don't care who it is.
Oh yeah,
I want you to
I
watch
don't
this
care
and let me know
who.
what you think in the
These people need to get
Speaker
hung.
Johnson, this is sort of on the
A lot of people
heels of something else that a lot of people are asking questions about.
There's a
Because we've
lynching
been
that
lied
needs
by
to
the federal
happen.
government for so long. I feel like there's some type of like a pain point, right? And the pressure cooker that gets heated up on issues like the Epstein issue, right? And obviously that's something that's taken over a lot of the online dialogue. I have a question here about it that concerns either testifying or testimony for Ghislaine Maxwell, potentially before Congress, or if you would support members like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Anna Paulina Luna on the release of subpoenaing the Epstein documents from the DOJ, whether you would support either of those.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Marjorie or Anna about that specific subject, but I'm for transparency. We're intellectually consistent in this. Look, Reagan used to tell us we should trust the American people. I believe in that principle. I know President Trump does as well, and I trust him. I mean, he put together.
Yeah, I wonder if
team
he
of
had
his choosing,
some.
and they're doing a great
If
job.
we have some
It's a very
information
delicate
back
subject,
then.
but we should put everything out there and let the people decide.
Because this guy,
the White House
right?
and the White
Who the
House
fuck
team
is
are
Epstein to
privy
begin
facts
with?
that I don't know.
Dude
And
just
this is
pops
my
up out of
lane. I don't do
nowhere.
all that.
All the big,
But
right,
I agree with
big
the sentiment.
politicians are hanging out with this
And,
guy.
and you know,
Come on, dude.
Bondi,
That's
when
shady.
she originally made the statement, I think she was
Fuck.
talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about
No,
a list or whatever, but
no American
she
knows
needs to
who
come
this
forward and
fucking
explain that to
person
everybody.
is.
I
This
like
guy
her. I think
doesn't
she's done a good job.
deal
We
with
need
our
the DOJ
politics,
focusing on the
literally.
major
So
priorities.
who the
Let's get
fuck
this
is
thing
this guy?
resolved so that
And
they
why
can
is he so
deal
in
with
bed
violent
with
crime and
everyone?
public safety and
Right?
election
That's shady as
integrity and
fuck.
going after Act Blue and the things that the president is most concerned about, as we are. So I'm anxious to get this behind us.
Why is he with so many politicians in those videos back in the day? I can't pictures back in the day. Shady as fuck, man. And then what's this one?
To the committee, thank you for having me here today to testify. My name is Mike Howell, and I'm the president of the Oversight Project. I'm also a visiting fellow for the Heritage Foundation and a board member at the National Immigration Center for Enforcement. I especially thank you for giving me a platform to plead with members of this body, all on the Democrat side, to stand down on their threats against the men and women of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The violence is getting out of control, and it is fueled by the demagoguery of politicians. Whether it is one of your members telling Axios that there needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public, another saying civility isn't working,
but don't
and to
people
prepare
want
for
blood
violence,
sports? Isn't that
or even
everything?
a
I
member
mean,
of
isn't
this
that what
committee
streamers
being
do?
arrested for
They want the
forcibly
blood
impeding and
sports so
interfering
that they
with federal
can get their
officials.
viewers to
This
get the
escalation
money and
deserves
shit.
condemnation.
Right?
It needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Assaults against ICE officers are up over 830%, and that's a lowball estimate. There have been violent incidents in Alvarado, McAllen, Portland.
Sir, please.
So I got a point of order.
Please.
Pursuant to Clause 2K.
Oh, it's
of Rule
Mr.
11,
Tom. It's this
I raise
guy.
a point
This
of
guy's a
order
piece
that
of
this
shit.
testimony is outside the scope of the hearing.
I would object to that position, Mr. Chairman. That's absurd.
I would object as well.
Man has a right to his 5 minutes of testimony. Clearly, the Democrats don't want to hear truth. I object to the ranking member's ridiculous position.
The point of order offered by the ranking member is not in order. This individual has the opportunity to summarize his opening statement and the information upon which he used to form that opening statement, so the objection is overruled.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, obviously I'm going to appeal the ruling of the chair. and ask for a vote. But again, you know, this guy has an opinion.
Mr. Chairman.
Wait, do you?
Mr. Chairman.
No, I respect it.
The chair has ruled that his testimony is part of the basis upon which he is briefing this committee, and it will be used to talk about his ultimate findings as it relates to the purpose of this committee. I understand your objection. The objection has been overruled. If you would like to challenge that, you are welcome to challenge that. Is the ranking member challenging the ruling of the chair?
Mr. Chairman, I challenge the ruling of the chair.
Is there a motion?
I have a motion.
What's that motion, Mr.
Motion to
Higgins?
table.
There is a motion to table. The gentleman has moved that the motion to table, this is privileged and non-debatable. So we will then, is there a second to the motion to table?
I second.
Motion and several seconds of the motion to table. All those in favor of tabling the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
No. In the ruling of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is tabled.
Mr. Chairman, I ask for a recorded vote.
No.
A recorded vote has been requested. We would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Chairman Guest votes aye.
The clerk will report the tally.
Mr. Chairman, on that vote, there were 9 ayes and 8 noes.
Without objection, she will be allowed to sit and question witnesses, but not allowed to vote on any matters. Any other issues that need to be taken up? Mr. Howell, you are recognized once again to continue your summation of your opening statement.
Thank you. Reclaiming my time. The violence, obstruction, and subversion of the United States that is emanating from so-called non-governmental organizations, unwell individuals, some probably paid, and supported by the political mainstreaming of violent rhetoric from national politicians should not come as a surprise.
Oh, like Mr. Thompson
we
right
saw
there.
the writing on the wall during the Biden border crisis.
He was on the Jan
marriage
6
between the
committee with all those
and
fuckheads
so-called
like
non-governmental
Hillary,
organizations facilitating
Hillary
illegal
Clinton.
immigration.
What's her fucking dumb
The reason
face?
I call these groups so-called non-governmental
Warhawk.
organizations is because they, for the most part,
I can't even
draw
remember her
funds
name
from the
because she got
government
ejected
or have
right
a
after the
preferential
whole
tax
thing.
status from the government. They're more creatures of the government than they are non-governmental. Now, the United States of America is still reeling from the consequences of the worst border invasion in history. This was an invasion that was planned, promoted, encouraged, funded, and sustained by radical elements of the previous administration. This invasion could not have been accomplished without a colossal partnership
I don't
between the
want
government
you
and
summarizing your
organizations.
statements. I
Simply
don't
put,
believe you're
under the
saying
Biden
factual
administration's
statements.
open border policies, the government
way,
could only
that's
do
what he got
so
angry
much to facilitate mass illegal immigration, welcome illegal aliens into the United States, and move them around the country. The Biden administration needed help, so they drove an estimated $6 billion to a conglomerate of 15 UN agencies and over 200 nonprofits, as recently calculated by the Center for Immigration Studies, to do the open borders work for them. Now, my organization, the Oversight Project, has led the way on exposing this border industrial complex. In December of 22, we published the first of its kind study tracking the cell phone movement of illegal aliens through these organizations at the border. With only a small sample size of 30,000 devices, we found that
We're
these
gonna
devices
call
went
it the
to 431
immigration
congressional
industrial
districts.
complex.
That's nearly everywhere
where
in the
they
country.
tried to get
in New York, we discovered a taxpayer-funded
right,
shelter providing
foreign
false residency
invaders
documents to
to
illegals.
fuck up
In
the
Mexico,
right
we
system.
discovered flyers at an illegal alien staging camp encouraging illegals to remember to vote for Biden when they got in the U.S. In Arizona, we found a Mexican consulate official
I'm gonna be
at
calling
an
these
NGO
people foreign
advising
invaders now.
illegals on how to lie
I
to
don't
law
think people are
enforcement
gonna
and
take too
evade
kindly
ICE.
to that one.
We have produced documentary evidence of non-citizens admitting on camera
Yeah,
to
you
be
know,
registered
content
to vote
creators,
in
yeah,
Arizona,
those people are
Georgia,
foreign
Minnesota, and
invaders.
North Carolina.
And they
This
should
year,
all be
we obtained
hung.
video evidence of an open borders organization in New York City hosting a seminar on how to evade
Why?
ICE.
Because there's a lot
This
of them
is
who
the
are
new trend.
international, and some of
Open
them are
borders
American.
organizations are now in the obstruction of ICE business.
sorry.
Without the partnership and the money
Hey.
of the Biden administration, a blob of nonprofits, legal groups, and foot soldiers are taking to the streets to create chaos. This makes sense because the goal has always been destabilization. This destabilization is happening right here around us. Incendiary and
Yeah,
defamatory
people don't know
protest
how
rhetoric linked to the
how
group
fucking
5051
crazy
and
Americans
Flare,
can
which
get.
is formerly the
Oh,
May
you
Day
don't even
movement,
know.
which did No Kings, which many members of this body promoted, and Party
You
for
you wish you knew,
Socialism and Liberation
but you
movements
don't.
are some of the groups that are radicalizing individuals and inciting violence, and this only ends in violence. Now, the Oversight Project has asked this administration, the President Trump's administration, to stop issuing permits for peaceful protest to non-peaceful groups. People should be able to go to work in D.C. without being spat on, assaulted, or having an air horn blown into their eardrums. This happens all the time. I know firsthand. In conclusion, I'd encourage you all
Well, I
to
mean,
think
maybe
broadly
people need to
about
fix the
blob of
homelessness
various
problem
organizations
too,
and
where you got a bunch
strategies
of people
that
who
were
are on the
involved in sustaining the
sidewalks
Biden border
being like
crisis,
fent
and
zombies
also
and shit.
understand what is still
I can
happening
show you.
today. I thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Skid Row
and
and
I'm
like
happy to
Philadelphia.
answer any questions.
Right, those
Thank
two
you,
places.
Mr. Howell.
Because we see, I can show you those cams. Yeah, again and again. Those cams don't change. All right, there you have it. Rapid fire news of just a bunch of random bullshit. Just a random fuck shit. The random fuck shit stack, yeah. Random bullshits. There you have it.